Times, on the other hand, are represented as two possible types. One is called POSIX CT, and the other one's called POSIX LT. So POSIX is a family of computing standards for how things should be done on certain types of computers or how data should be represented. And so there's a family of standards for how to represent dates and times, and so POSIX, that's part of the POSIX standard. So in the POSIX CT class, times are represented just as very large integers. And so it's a useful type of class if you want to, say, store times in a data frame or something like that, because basically it's like a big integer vector. POSIX LT stores a time as a list underlying, and so it stores a bunch of other useful information about a given time. For example, what's the day of the week of that time, what's the day of the year, the day of the month, or the month itself. And there are a number of generic functions that operate on both dates and times that you can use. Such as the weekdays function tells you what day of the week a given time is or a given day is. The month function tells you what month that date or time is, and the quarters function gives you the quarter number. So, for example, Q1 would be January through March, Q2 would be April through June, etc., like that. So these generic functions operate on objects of class POSIX CT, POSIX LT, or date. So for example, you can coerce things back and forth between POSIX LT and POSIX CT if you want, using the as.POSIX LT or the as.POSIX CT function. So, for example, the sys.time function here just gives you the current time as it's known by the system, and you can see that when it prints out in a year, month, day format, and then an hour, minute, second format, and then the time zone, which is Eastern Standard Time right now. So you can convert this to a POSIX LT using as.POSIX LT. And POSIX LT, remember, underlying is a list. So you can look at the names of the elements in this list if you unclass it. And you can see that there's an element called seconds. That's the seconds, the minutes, the hours. The M day is the day of the month, which in this case would be 23. The month is just the month you're in, so that's January. And then the year, the weekday, so the day of the week, the year day, which is the day in the year, and then are we on daylight savings or not? So if I extract the seconds element of this list, you'll see it's 11.86, and so this actually gives you the seconds in fractional seconds. So it's 11 seconds and then 0.86 seconds. So that's the number of seconds in the time. The POSIX CT format, you can see, is you can also get it from the sys.time function, and you can see that if I unclass this POSIX CT object, I get this very large integer because that's just the number of seconds since January 1st, 1970. Now, if I try to apply the list operator, the $, to this object, you'll see I'll get an error because objects of POSIX CT don't have these list elements in them. If you want to get those list elements out, you have to convert it to POSIX LT using the as.POSIX LT function. Then I can get the seconds out. In this case, it's 11.88 seconds. So finally, there's the stir ptime function, which converts dates that are written in character string format into date or time objects. Well, in this case, it converts them into time objects. So, and they use what are called format strings. So here I've got a string that says January 10th, 2012, and then 1040, meaning hour 10 and minute 40. And then I have another string that says December 9th, 2012, 910. So if I want to convert these strings to time objects, I can use the stir ptime function. What I do is I pass it the character vector, and then I pass it a format string. So in this case, and so you'll see all these percent signs followed by letters, and then you can look up what these symbols mean in the help page for stir ptime. So %B means the month, is the unabbreviated month name. %D is the day, then comma, and then %Y is the 4-digit year. Then %H is the hour, followed by colon, followed by %M, which is the minute. And so that's the format of the times here. And you can see that after I call stir ptime and I print out X, I get these time objects that are printed out in the standard format. When I look at the class of this object, you'll see it's in a POSIX LT format. And so So you can look at, so that's the kind of underlying list format here. Now I personally can never remember what those formatting strings are, the %b, %d, %y. I can never remember what those are, and so I always have to look at the help page for stir p time to remember what those details are.